Ladies and gentlemen, we have a recording in progress.
That's a first.
Yeah, I tried to disable that on Zoom. It doesn't let you. Anyways, welcome to the show. This is episode, I believe, 12. I'm trying to keep
12.
track every week.
12.
We skipped a week. So this is episode 12 of Two Guys Drink, which we are now probably going to be changing the name of. Should we announce
Not
it?
even probably. We are.
We are changing the name. We're going to name it Two Dads Drink.
Because we're two dads.
We are two dads. We're also two guys, though. But it's cool.
Two dads is closer.
Two dads works. We talk a lot of family stuff.
Corner.
Yeah, we have Kids Corner. We talk family stuff. So that's going to be the new name. Two Dads Drink, where two dads escape their families to come and drink and talk about stuff.
Let us know what you think, because I think that even sounds better.
It does sound better. I agree.
Really do.
And my dad to the left of me is Sean, who is going to talk about our unofficial sponsor.
I really don't know. He probably should talk about this unofficial sponsor. Its name is Lienda. It is from, where's it from?
The Dominican Republic.
The Dominican Republic.
It is my souvenir that I smuggled through the U.S. Customs to get to this show.
I will say, though, this is the first time we are doing something different. Whiskey.
Yes, we've done whiskey every show.
Should we do the Captain Morgan post since it's rum?
I don't know. What is the Captain Morgan post?
You don't know the Captain Morgan post?
Yeah,
oh, man.
Barely know the bottle, you know, like, okay. Oh, you're going to show me. Okay. It's just like a foot up.
Foot up on a, usually it's a barrel, not a chair.
Well, I drank a fuckload of rum while I was in the Dominican for 6 days because you know what, folks? That's all they have. Beer, rum, wine. That's about it.
By the way, this is our Dominican now. This is Welcome Back, Ian Hoover.
Yes. You were supposed to do an episode without me. You bailed on it.
I didn't bail on it. Eric Costco bailed on it last minute.
Yeah. And I was worried that, like, if I did the entire show that I might, like, piss off some people in the resort. So, because I'm loud.
Yeah. I could have just sat here and just talked to myself.
You could have.
We've known other people to do that.
Yes, that would have been somewhat entertaining. I would have watched it.
I could have talked to myself. I could have leave both seats here and just
you could have just jumped back and forth like somebody we know.
Let me know if you guys want me to do that next time, or him, because I'm on the next one on vacation. Actually,
you are the next one on vacation.
So
I believe
next month. So yeah.
Yes, I don't have anything planned next month.
Yep,
other than our guys' weekend that you're probably bailing.
Hey, graduation parties. What do you want?
Anyways, let's get into the topics here.
Hold on.
Oh, wait, that's right. We got to cheers our unofficial sponsor.
Cheers. Welcome back.
I mean,
it's not bad.
It's sweeter than whiskey.
Yeah, it just leaves me with a bad taste at the end later.
Yeah.
Not the same for everybody. Obviously, some people like it.
I'll tell you what, in those frozen daiquiri drinks that they have at the resort, you cannot taste the rum, but it is sure in there.
Oh, I'm sure. Any of those frozen drinks that people make, anywhere you go, those things get you messed up real quick.
I would drink one and I was messed up. You don't know it. So, Sean, you have a bachelor week right now. Your wife, bless her heart, has taken the kids, both kids, with a friend and her kids, so they're outnumbered.
Oh yeah,
to Ocean City, Maryland.
3-2. It's not man on man anymore.
To Ocean City, Maryland, right?
Ocean City, it's Maryland. Yep.
Yeah, Maryland's a nice Ocean City, so I would assume they were there. What the hell are you doing without any kids for the week?
Well, the first night, kind of just relaxed because it was like 90 degrees out that day.
Okay.
And then you and my brother were at my house for the fights that night.
We did. We watched the fight, which is one of our topics today, so we'll save
that later. Me and my brother got some food and just hung out, and you came over and watched the fights with us. The next day, got back to normal life. I was working, doing my job because I'm still working.
You're still working? You're just a bachelor.
I'm just at home by myself now. I do have a Rosie still.
You do have a Rosie.
I do have a Rosie still. That's my little dogger.
You have a Rosie to take care
of. Nonetheless, last night I really went into, like we talked about, I started putting my businesses together for Amazon merch, and
you started a new business.
I started extra side stuff, hustles for myself.
Oh, your wife's out of town. You started another business.
Yeah, I just looked into side hustles.
I like it. I start new businesses all the time, so I can't talk.
That's all. Just looking at side hustles while I had free time.
Nice. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your week. When do they come back?
Thursday evening.
Okay, I was hoping we'd be able to get like a Friday night guys night in.
Oh, they'll be back before then.
Yeah, darn.
and I wouldn't have seen them all week. So that's probably not.
No. I meant if they're still out of town, if they were coming back on Saturday, we could do like a Friday night bash or whatever. But
nope.
Nothing like that.
Tomorrow would be that time. That wouldn't be a Friday thing. That wouldn't be a Thursday because they'll get back Thursday.
Yeah, and I don't know about drinking during the week.
That's rough. We're old.
Yeah, I'm too old for that.
And your kids are still around, so.
And I did a lot of drinking over the past 2 weeks, so. Not including today, which I am drinking now. So.
Yeah, we don't have Eric here. We're not doing 50 shots.
No. Eric is not here to force us to drink. But congratulations on your Bachelor week. I hope you're enjoying it a little bit. I know you miss your family. However, yeah, it's nice to have a little break from time
It's
to time.
weird. It is nice to have a break, but it is very weird not being around the kids because you know me and the kids. Well, you're the same way. It's just not easy not to see them all the time.
I think you're worse than I am about it. Like I feel like I can go away from my kids and like be fine, and like I feel like you.
I don't like being away from my kids. So.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't want to be a week away from my kids, but like a couple days, like. I'll video chat with them a little bit and be cool.
One day was fine. The more and more days as I've went, the more and more I've been like,
you start to miss them for sure.
Not enjoying this.
Even like a long weekend type thing, you miss your kids. So.
And the FaceTime's not the same as actually picking them up, giving them a hug, or just talking to them in general right next to you.
It's true.
Or listening to the goofy stories. By the way, my son does not have a YouTube channel, but if he did, go follow him on YouTube.
We are both super excited. Movie theaters are back open, right? We've been watching some movies together.
What, we've seen about 3 now. It's been 3.
Yeah, and we need to see like 4 or 5 because there's a couple more.
There's still more. What Fast Furious comes out this month, I think.
We got the new Conjuring. It's already out.
That just came out, right? But we're not going to get there because, at least I'm not going to get there with you because you're going to go with your wife. And my wife will not watch that.
I thought it'd be a great date.
She will not go even on a date night.
No. Did you talk to her about
I did mention it. Okay. It is not going to happen.
Not going to happen.
She said she'll come to the date part, but she's not going to the movie part.
You can come. You could be our third wheel.
No.
I'll snuggle you too. I'll have an arm over both of you. An arm here and an arm over my wife, and I'll be good to go.
Listeners, you think this is fake, but that is absolutely accurate.
Oh, I would. Yeah. I'd snuggle both. I'm a snuggler. So what was your thoughts of the Spiral movie?
We didn't even announce it. So the movie we did see before he
most
just
recent movie that we saw was
Spiral, which is the Chris Tucker.
No, Chris Rock.
I just watched Chris Tucker. I watched Chris Tucker yesterday on.
I thought you were watching it with Jake, and then
no, he wasn't there. He wasn't there.
I was like, "That is your face." But I still love you.
Nonetheless, we saw his movie in Spiral, which anytime I think of it, I'm like, "Wait, he's in a horror movie?" That's my instant thought. But truth be told, he was fantastic in it. I thought he did a great job. I think all of them did a great job in that movie.
I personally think Chris Rock is what made that movie.
Yeah,
he made that movie work. He was really good. He was serious. You almost thought he was kind of like a badass in the movie.
Nothing wrong. Sam Jackson was good too.
Sam Jackson.
He's always good in that role. He's always good in that role, though. That's his role.
Yeah, much smaller part. As normal with Saw movies, it was super gory.
Yeah. I don't think it was as bad though. It was definitely gory. There was definitely moments.
Yeah, there was moments when it was gory. It was not as gory as the new Rambo movie. I will tell you that much. Holy cow! If you want a gory movie, watch that new Rambo movie. I mean, it's not that new. It came out a couple years ago, but I had finally just watched it the other day.
See, somebody out there is going to be thinking when you first say the new movie, they're going to be thinking, one of the 10 or maybe 11.
I clarified
afterwards. It's not technically new.
I thought that like out of the Saw series, the first 2 were really good. Then they kind of like, it was like the same stuff over and over again. Yeah. But I thought that the last one they did prior to this one was really good. Like it almost made me think that the Saw dude was still alive. Like I don't know. If you saw
I did see it. Yeah.
And it had a nice twist on it. I really liked it. And then this one, I was like, oh man, another one. I don't know. Like. But I thought they did well. I really did. They
played well off of Saw, since this technically is not Saw. This is the Book of Saw, is what they're calling it.
Right.
They're trying to stem off that tree, basically.
They talked about.
They brought them up.
Yeah, they brought them up,
and they brought up that this has been multiple time thing where there's people who just kind of branch away from what he started.
We have virus threat protection.
Yeah, it threw me off. Windows Defender summary. All right.
Yep.
But nonetheless, I like the direction. I like that they opened up in a whole new wing to Saw.
Yeah, I do like that, and they clearly set it up for a sequel.
They set up for multiples if they wanted to.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they
except for they showed you who the good guy was throughout those sequels and who the bad guy is throughout the sequels. They literally created the open end story of which way you're going.
Correct.
Saw didn't do that. Saw always had the bad guy, but every time the good person in the movie was keep changing. But it would come from one of the originals. The next one would be somebody different, but it was from the one prior.
But the bad guy was also somewhat of a good guy.
His thought process was,
his thought process. He was almost like a Dexter-esque character, you know?
Me and Jake, before I think you got to the house the other day, were talking about this because we were watching the Avengers, actually, Endgame.
Yeah.
And Thanos, who thought process, depending on how you view what he's doing, he could be a good guy in some people's eyes.
Sure.
He could be a bad guy. You know what I mean?
Venom could be a good guy, could be a bad guy.
Exactly. There's a lot of those tweeners that it's just a matter of how you view what they're doing.
Correct. Absolutely.
That's why I joke around. A lot of good movies do that very well. They do like blur the line of, I can really see where he's coming from. Don't get me wrong, do I know he's supposed to be the asshole in the movie? Yeah, but I can see where he's coming from. Even Creed 2, where, what's his name? Drago's son in Drago. Yeah. Even that one, if you stop and think about it from Drago's point of view, he got bashed for all those years, by the way, because he lost to Rocky. His country dumped on him. His wife left him.
Yep. He became a
loser. So he beat down his son to become this ultimate robot machine.
Who then in turn gets defeated.
And then at the end of it, they come to the realization that it's not that. They were just overcompensating, basically.
Yeah, they have each other.
Right.
It was
so it really, a lot of great movies I've seen, that's the ultimate point, is they blur the lines of good and bad, basically.
Absolutely. And really, there was not, other than the fact that he killed, Apollo Creed in the ring, there was really nothing bad about Drago. He took steroids, and he said if he dies, he dies. But other than that, he hit hard and he didn't speak English. There really wasn't anything bad about Drago. But, it is what it is. I'm going to challenge you, Sir Sean. I'm going to challenge you that by our next show, which you should have at least a couple more days of Bachelor life to watch it. I want to challenge you to watch the latest Rambo movie so that we can.
Where is it on Prime?
It's on Amazon Prime, so that we can watch it together, or we can review it together on the show. I think that would be fun.
Send me a text. I got it.
I will do my best to remember to send you.
See, so there's my follow-up challenge.
Yep. Challenge to send a text. Hey Google, send Sean a text. We watched the fight together.
Yeah, that's the next
Sunday night. First off, why was it on a Sunday night? Why could they not have done it on Friday or Saturday when we could all sleep in the next day?
I don't know.
That's just not nice. Mayweather, next time, another night, please.
Is it the vid? Did the vid do it?
I don't know. I think the vid's about over, man.
I feel like that, but didn't you see the golfer who got kicked out of the tournament over the weekend?
No, I didn't see
because he hasn't got his vaccine shots.
Oh, really?
Yep. They wouldn't let him play in the tournament because of it.
Well, whatever.
Nonetheless,
we're not going to get into that topic. That could go for a long time.
Nonetheless, yes, we watched a fight on Sunday night.
Sunday night.
Weird.
First question is, was any of the fights or all of the fights combined better, or was your brother Jake fighting with your couch better?
First of all, my couch won.
Oh, yeah, your couch absolutely won. For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, his brother Jake, who someday will bless us with his presence.
Someday.
He could have been here tonight, but he's making excuses, I guess. It's.
I didn't even see a response.
He didn't. He ignored it.
I was saying,
yeah, he ignored it. But his brother Jake was watching the fight with us, and multiple times dropped his phone into the couch. And hey, I don't even know. They're not millennials, are they? 17.
Yeah, he's not.
They're whatever.
We're millennials.
They're whatever is the next category down, which is even worse.
What did we find out that was? That was Gen.
I don't remember.
Oh man,
we did it on
we had an episode about that. Found it out.
But either way, he's the next level down from millennial. And he's even worse. Like if he loses his phone, he just immediately starts itching, right? He just, God. So and the first 2 times he found his phone relatively quickly.
Pretty much, yeah.
The third time was
he
literally
was out. He knew
during the main event, right? We're in the middle of the main
wasn't
event
that
fight.
The last round? No, it wasn't even in the middle. He was in like the last round.
Yeah, it was in the last. Well, no, because it lasted multiple rounds. Okay.
Oh, that's
he
true.
dropped his phone into the couch around, I think, round 6 of 8, right? And 5 or 6 of 8, and he proceeded to look for his phone for about 15 to 20 minutes.
Well, we did videos of this.
I have a video actually on my old phone. I just got a new phone today. I have a video on my old phone of him ravishing through the couch, not being able to find it. Finally, I called the phone so he could hear it vibrate because it's not on ring. Because for God's sake, we can't have a ring.
Why would we have a ringer?
So he's listening to it vibrate. Eventually, hops over the back of the couch and fishes the phone out from back there. Good job, Jake. Way to go, buddy.
I'm taking pride in my couch. Good job, couch.
Good job, couch. Way to go, couch. So which fight was better, Jake versus the couch, or any of the fights, or all the fights combined?
Well, first of all, Jake.
Yeah, I think Jake
has to win that.
Yeah, the couch has to win that. That's
but fine. Truthfully, all 4 of the fights were entertaining.
Yeah. Well, I missed the Ocho fight.
That once again, I used the word entertaining. I don't say great fight.
I watched a little bit of it. It seemed entertaining. He was moving around. He was having fun.
He did good actually for an NFL player stepping into. We watched with the basketball player Nate Robinson. We watched him fight against Jake Paul.
And listen, Nate tried. He tried. He got pounded on.
You are wearing a Chicago Bulls jersey.
I'm wearing a Bulls jersey. Jordan jersey. It's the only jersey I could wear because Zach LaVine's probably gonna be gone. So. Why, Zach? Why? Anyways, no, I thought all the fights were good. The one middle one, not the one right before, but the one right after the Ocho fight that I showed up there. Those guys were pounding on each other.
That's what I'm saying.
For 10 rounds, and they were good.
I'm saying, like you said, the 2 middle fights were very entertaining.
Very entertaining. And then we get to the main event.
You remember the guy, the ref? If you hold him again, I'm going to disqualify you in the third.
I don't think he was holding. I think it was like a low blow thing. We missed what he said. We missed. We caught the tail end where he said, "You do it again," and we assumed holding because the guy was holding the whole time.
Right.
But I think it was a low blow thing because he did hit him in the crotch a couple times.
And then that guy took a shot and went down.
Yeah. So that was over pretty quick.
Yeah. Nonetheless, that was entertaining once again.
Entertaining.
Don't get me wrong. Mayweather and Paul was also entertaining. Yeah.
Yes, it was, and I'm slightly intrigued that it went the full distance.
Did you see the knockout punch that people were saying Paul was knocked out and leaning on Mayweather? He was holding him up at one point in the fight.
No.
Oh yeah, that's the report right now. Is there was one of the punches Mayweather hit him with, knocked him out, and the way he landed on Mayweather's shoulder, and Mayweather was just kind of how they were just dancing like that. He was holding him up. Until he regained consciousness.
So you're saying if it was a real fight, Mayweather would have moved out of the way and let him fall to the ground.
That's the report. Is they're basically decorating this as a showman versus showman fight.
Listen, I will say for a fact that Mayweather's hands down the more polished fighter, right? Like,
he won. If that was a match of 1-on-1,
right,
he won that fight by points. Which is how he wins a lot of his fights.
However, I will say, and you and I disagree, I think, on this topic. I think that I'm happy that Mayweather got out of that fight alive. Dude, I'm sorry. He is a 220-pound, roided out athlete. It doesn't matter if he's a good boxer or not. If he just accidentally lands one of those haymakers he was throwing, it would have been it would have been bad.
Mayweather was clearly the better fighter.
Yes, absolutely.
Clearly.
I'm not disagreeing. Nor did I disagree that going into the fight. I just said if Paul lands one of those haymakers.
Yeah, but the catch was you watch Paul swing some of those haymakers. Mayweather didn't even let him get close.
It was like I could have probably moved out of the way of some of those haymakers.
The hits that Paul landed were Mayweather sitting here jamming up his shoulder. Okay, keep punching me in my shoulder. Cool.
But you have to admit, like, if he would have landed one of those, it would have been bad.
Maybe, but that's the question you always say with Mayweather. And for some odd reason, he gets older and he doesn't slow down.
But the guy fought somebody who's like 60 to 70 pounds heavier, 53 pounds on the card. But you know that.
Let me be honest with you. I am not a fan of Mayweather. I'm not.
how could you not be a fan of him? His style,
just his attitude.
Okay, so he's
it's weird though because I like McGregor and it's very, very oddly similar.
Very similar. Mayweather has. You can not like him as a person, but as a fighter, you have to admire the fact that he's just.
Oh, I respect him. I don't know about admire, but I respect him.
However, I will say right now, I'm 100% convinced that now the McGregor Mayweather and now this one were completely fixed.
Yeah, I think that's why he calls them events. He doesn't even call them fights anymore. He's at the point.
And don't get me wrong, I'm gonna continue paying $50, $80 for each one.
Right.
But I think that they're completely fixed, and they're just a money making scheme that Floyd has in his retirement.
Yeah. And what? He's gonna make his 100, 200 million each fight.
Hey, more power to him.
He'll do them once every
more power
2-3 years.
I cannot wait for Wilder Fury 3.
And you won't even be able to watch it.
Oh, I'll watch it. I'm just gonna watch it from a hotel room or something. I'm gonna watch it. Like, my wife will have to either come with me or go to sleep or whatever she's gonna do. But I'm watching that fight. That's a real fight. Those are two big ass, grown ass men just pounding on each other.
Yes. And they both enjoy that. They don't even want to play defense. They just want to hit you.
And the fact that Wilder got knocked out last time makes me think that dude's gonna come just jacked out of his mind.
So question, because the first fight was a draw, which Wilder landed his bombs and Fury just sat up.
I don't know how the first fight was a draw. Yes, it went to decision, but Wilder clearly controlled the fight. And Wilder got the only knockdown of the fight.
Okay, well, Fury changed up his training system for the second fight.
Well, yeah.
He clearly was winning the second fight.
No. He won the second. He dominated.
He won, but I mean the whole fight. He clearly dominated the whole thing. There was no doubt.
Wilder had about a round and a half where he was throwing nasty haymakers, just trying to land something. Yep. And when that didn't happen, he was gassed, and Fury just tapped away.
Yeah, but Wilder also hurt his leg during that fight. If you remember early on, he hurt his leg, and you could see it through the whole fight. But he was
so gassed towards the end. Like, there was no...
And don't you remember he blamed that whole that whole shoulder mass helmet thing he wore?
All kinds of excuses. He's an excuse maker. But I am excited for that one. I think that Wilder's going to come ready to go. Fury's going to come ready to go. Those two are going to pound on each other.
They're just going to bash each other.
Oh, it's going to be great.
They're going to bash each other.
I can't wait. That's a real fight that I cannot wait.
I am very intrigued by that fight because everything you just said.
So, there's another McGregor fight coming up too, right?
I think he's in July too, isn't he?
I think it was like July.
It's Poirier.
Like
it's Poirier.
The week or two before the...
Yeah, it's McGregor versus Poirier 3.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
McGregor back in shape this time because when he decides he wants to fight, he actually usually works pretty well. When he decides he's just there for a paycheck,
I really think McGregor's almost finished. Like, he's just getting old. He clearly, like, okay, he fought Cowboy.
Yeah, crushed him.
He won with his shoulder in like the first round, right? First minute, right?
Right.
But any real fight, like Cowboy's way past his prime. Any real fighter he's fought in the last 3-4 fights, he's been dominating, you know?
I don't want to say he was dominating.
You know what I would love to see?
Poirier didn't dominate.
I would love to see another McGregor-Diaz fight.
That'd be good, but once again, we already talked about if McGregor's on a downfall, why would Diaz be a good fight? Diaz beat him the one time because of size differential.
Yeah, just two washed-up fighters, but they both, like, fight each other hard, you know?
Maybe. I get that part.
I like that matchup, so.
Maybe. No.
What would you rate this McGregor or this Mayweather fight? Would you watch it again if there was a round 2 versus of it?
I'd prefer to see McGregor or Mayweather versus Jake Paul.
Okay, that could happen.
More of size equal. Jake Paul's a little more nuts than his brother is, and I honestly just don't like Jake Paul. I would love to see Mayweather knock him out, to be honest with you.
But it won't. It will be the same thing. Like if I'm correct in my assumption, which is that it's all fixed, these are all going to just go the distance.
Yeah.
And they're all going to just, you know.
It's that Mayweather Showtime money contract.
That's it. He's just making his money. Congratulations, Mayweather, on making way more money than I'll ever earn in my entire life.
In one night. In 8 rounds.
In 8 rounds.
8 rounds.
8 easy rounds.
8 rounds. I guess you have to promote the fight, so I guess it's not just the 8 rounds.
Yeah, okay. He's got to promote. There's work involved.
I guess there's some work.
In 4 months, he made more than either of us will ever make in our entire life.
Correct.
Okay.
That's correct.
Good job. Good job, Mayweather.
Cheers.
Your boy Julio.
My boy.
Finally got traded.
This is your boy. You're the one who defends him all the time. This is your boy.
Your fantasy. He finally got traded he's on your fantasy team for another.
I paid less than the actual Titans paid for him.
Month and 3 weeks. He's on your fantasy team. Julio got traded to Tennessee.
I'm keeping him. I didn't tell you that.
No, you did not tell me that. That's my question, though. Does that make it any more appealing that he has Ryan Tannehill throwing the football?
No.
Hell no.
No, that didn't
He's now the second best receiver probably in that offense, right?
No, that didn't change anything.
However,
you go to a running offense. Let's start off this. You go to a running offense, which I understand now you have A.J. Brown and Julio, but you still have Derrick Henry in the backfield.
Ryan Tannehill has to be like thanking
Miami.
Thanking the Lord that he got out of that trash situation in Miami. He backed up a trash quarterback for a little while, and then he got a chance. He got gifted this wonderful opportunity in Tennessee and is making a decent career out of it. Right. And he's getting paid a ridiculous amount of money now.
There is a good chance next year you hear Ryan Tannehill's name come up in the MVP talk.
I don't know if he's that good.
I don't think he's that good, but I think everything around him could be that good.
I don't know. I still don't see him I don't see him taking that big of a step.
Put it this way: if the Titans become a top tier team, which they have the potential, they have a good defense, they have a crazy offense right now.
I'll probably sprinkle a little bit on the Titans to win the Super Bowl this year.
You put the quarterback there. If
they fix their defense a little bit,
I mean, if the quarterback comes in and performs like he can with those weapons, you play the running game, so you don't even force him to throw the ball 35, 40 times. You literally are asking Tannehill, 25, 30 times, maybe 30, maybe.
I already know who's going to win the MVP this
year. Oh, geez, Dak Prescott. and he believes it.
The dude was on track to throw for 6,000 yards last year, 5 games through the season.
And he was on track for 0 wins at the same time.
No, he won a game.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did. He won the Falcons game. He got that crazy onside kick.
That's right.
And it wasn't Dak that was losing those games. It was that horrible defense, which is now fixed. And it is fixed. We got a new defensive coordinator. We got a new linebacker. We got a new cornerback. We got a bunch of new safeties. That defense is stacked. We're good now. We're good.
I'm not going to be repetitive and keep crashing this party for him. So we'll wait till the season.
The season will crash my party as it does every year. However, on paper, the MVP will be Dak Prescott. I think this is a great move for Tennessee. It was a great move for Tennessee.
It has to be. You added a Hall of Fame wide receiver.
It was a horrible move for the Falcons.
Well, they had to. They had no cap. They couldn't even sign their draft picks. They had to make a move.
You got to do something. Cut some loser on defense making way too much money. I mean, keep Julio Jones. You just added that great.
Yeah, but Julio also said he wanted out.
You just added that great tight end.
You couldn't sign him. They didn't sign him yet because they didn't have no cap.
Cut some other loser. There's 52 other losers on the team. Cut another loser. Cut Matt Ryan. I don't care. Cut anybody.
Matt Ryan, I guess, was cost even more. Julio, at least they could move.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think there's no doubt in my mind that the Falcons they're just done. They're toast.
Calvin Ridley's decent. Kyle Pitts is going to be good.
They need to rebuild. Just get it over with.
Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't trade Julio in a real life situation. I wouldn't trade Julio.
If I was a fan of the Falcons right now, I would be very, very discouraged.
But I can tell you there's teams that didn't make that move that Tennessee made that I would be more upset about.
Yeah, but
Indianapolis, real quick, okay? They have cap room still. They could have afforded them.
Yeah, they could have really used them.
They could have used them. Their best weapon is T.Y. Hilton, who's kind of past his prime. I mean, until you get to the running guys. Like, they have Jonathan Williams. They have a few running backs. Marlon Mack coming back this year. Who else do they have? They have T.Y. Hilton, Michael Pittman, I think. And who's the other one?
Here's a simple factor.
Harris Campbell, I think the other one.
I don't even think he's there. I think they lost him. Yeah.
So, really.
The simple fact of the matter is they have a quarterback.
Yes.
Who they got from Philadelphia.
They have running backs.
Who the excuse for him in Philadelphia was that he didn't have a good enough receiving core. And you just send him to Indy, who has an even worse receiving core than Philadelphia.
But you're giving them back to his head coach, Frank Reich.
I mean, whatever. It just that would have made a great.
If he would have went there,
I would have traded a first-round pick if I was Indy. Well, why not? What do you got to lose?
You're built to win. You have a good defense. You have a good offensive line. You have a quarterback that has been in the Super Bowl. Or no, he hasn't. Actually, correction. He hasn't been in the Super Bowl,
just on the bench.
He wasn't even on the bench. He was still injured and out on IR.
He was on the bench for that game.
What, in his sweatpants?
Yeah, he was watching from the sideline while he won the heavy piece of jewelry on his hand. You know? I think that that would have been a great move for Indy. I mean, who wouldn't have been a good move for? I mean, it's a good move for everybody. The Patriots could have had that.
I can make that play for anybody. That's a perfect move.
Bill Belichick. I almost said Bill Parcells. Bill Belichick sucks at drafting people. That's his one downfall in life. Like trade 10 first-round draft picks and get who cares? You're gonna miss on 90% of those draft picks. Give your young rookie quarterback a receiver.
They still couldn't go with Cam right now.
Well, that's for a couple weeks maybe. Until Cam can't throw a 10-yard pass.
Do you still think Belichick's the brain?
Yeah, I do. I still think he's a good dude. He still went like 8-8 with
he won a quarterback who didn't even throw 1,000 yards. I don't think it was.
Yeah, and he was injured, and like he had one good game, and it was against Seattle.
Yeah.
I mean,
his average was like.
And he lost a ton of starters to COVID. So
it's horrible weapons. No weapons after Julian Edelman went down.
I mean, that N'Keal Harry or whatever, horrible. Like, they're all horrible.
Well, they just brought in 3 receivers, 2 tight ends.
Yeah. But they still could have used Julio.
Oh, anybody can use Julio. Anybody. He's a number 1 receiver on most teams. Anybody can take Julio on. Except for his injury.
This is going to be a fun topic for me.
Go ahead.
LeBron James. You're the Lakers fan here.
You just said it.
I'm wearing my jersey right now.
You just said it. I'm a Lakers fan.
Hey, you know what?
We've had this conversation.
I hated Terrell Owens until Terrell Owens on the Cowboys, and I love Terrell Owens. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you're a Lakers fan. You're not exactly a LeBron fan, but you're not exactly mad that he's on your team.
I'm not going to cry about it.
You're not going to cry about
having. Typically,
you're not going to cry about having one of the best players in the game. But I mean, look, my only thing. Okay, there's 2 things I have against LeBron James. One is that he ruined my team's chances of winning titles so many times. Okay, because we finally had a decent team, and he just ruined it. Single-handedly would ruin those games by switching on to Derrick Rose. That's number 1. So he'll never get in my good graces after that.
What if he comes to your team?
No, he's too old.
Not at this point. What if he came in his prime?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If he would have came when he did the Miami Heat thing, I would have been all about it. About it.
Weren't your Bulls trying to be in on
They were.
I was gonna say
they ended up having to sign Boozers. Like oh crap, we missed out.
But they were trying to get Wade too, since he's a hometown boy. They were trying.
They were trying to get Wade and LeBron to come
and do it there instead of Miami
with Derrick Rose. It would have been a great team. But anyway, so. That's number 1 against LeBron. Number 2 against LeBron is I hate that everybody makes a comparison. And I guess they do with Kobe too. Like, who's better, LeBron or Michael? And I'm like the biggest Michael Jordan fan ever, right? Like I love Michael. I grew up watching the guy. He made my childhood so phenomenal as a Bulls fan, right? And it gets me to the point where I can get over the years like this where I had a little hope and they just suck. It gets me over those years because I had so many glorious years with Michael Jordan, right? Watching the 2, not saying LeBron is a bad basketball player. He's a great basketball player. Yeah. But he is not Michael Jordan.
No.
Michael Jordan was the most clutch athlete in any sport ever, in my opinion.
I don't want to say that. I'm not going to jump there, but
every time the Bulls needed a play, Michael was there.
Once again, in his sport, I will not deny that. And that's coming from somebody who isn't going to sit there and make the LeBron conversation with you. The only fight I would make is Kobe. But I still don't think Kobe's there either, to be honest with you. As much as I love Kobe, I still don't think he's there.
I think Kobe's the closest.
That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, he's the
one
closest.
I would make the conversation about.
So you're saying somebody from another sport? What, Tom Brady?
He's one of them.
Who else are you going to throw in that conversation?
Mario Lemieux of the Penguins.
I love Lemieux, but he's not in the conversation. You just don't
understand hockey, and you don't understand that side of things.
How many championships did Mario win?
2.
How many Michael win?
Oh, I know 6.
6.
I understand that. If you want to go that route, then you have to go to Tom Brady.
You have to go to Tom Brady. He's the only person even close to comparable, in my opinion.
You do realize Lemieux's streak ended because he was out of the league for cancer, right?
Yeah,
That's why his streak ended.
Yeah, I realize that.
Okay, he
was still getting up there in age, though.
No, he wasn't actually. In his prime, he missed a solid 2 years to cancer in his prime.
Okay.
And then he came back and still had cancer and had treatments while he was playing.
Okay.
And still won scoring title after scoring title while he was playing with Hodgkin's disease and getting chemotherapy. So let's go into this track here.
You can't. You still have to go off of what was there, right?
I'm going off those scoring titles. I'm going off of things that he did that nobody can imagine. He played a 20-game season, or what was it, 23 to be exact, and won the scoring title on an 82-game season.
I'm a fan. I'm not even saying that's a bad. I'm just saying I wouldn't put him on the level. I think there's 2 people on the level, and that's Michael Jordan and Tom Brady.
Like you said, if you're going based off
clutch athletes, and actually I can make the argument all day long of Michael over Tom because Tom lost Super Bowls. Tom could have had 10 Super Bowls, right? He could have won 10 Super Bowls.
If you want to go by titles, I'm going to sit there and agree with you just based off titles.
I think that's you have. Now the other argument is with any of these sports is I feel that basketball is the one sport where one person can make the biggest difference out of any sport.
That I agree with that.
I think that you could.
I think it's the one sport that you can be one person and cause a team to win by one person. I don't think other sports can do that.
Like you could take any of the top 10 NBA players right now and put them on the worst NBA team, and they're automatically going to be at least a contender the next year. And then you add to the fact that on top of that, even if you don't add this in, but if you add this in, that if you take one of those top 10 players, other players are going to want to come play with them. So you're automatically going to become a contender.
Yeah.
So I think
except for Tom Brady, you can put him anywhere and somebody's going to follow him and go win.
That's true. That's true. But we're getting a little off topic here. However, I again, maybe it's I'm obviously biased.
We are way off topic. This was supposed to be about LeBron.
This is about LeBron. I think that what pisses me off most about LeBron is that people, and it's probably mostly people your brother's age, make a huge argument with the fact that LeBron is better than Michael.
Here's the part that they don't understand. They don't see, okay? And this can go for either side, okay? So they've watched LeBron's whole career. They've seen every game, that whole deal. The only thing they've seen of Jordan, highlights. That's it. You've seen the highlights.
Maybe if they were smart, they would have watched some of the re-airs during COVID lockdown or whatever. But
the dance. They probably saw the dance, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing that at all. I love that.
It shows some of his greatness for sure.
That is fantastic. But they're seeing the highlights is what they're seeing.
Yep.
LeBron, you're seeing a whole career play out in front of you, and he's what you know. So your perspective, you grew up being able to watch Jordan play, make those game-winning clutch shots that endear you to him. They didn't have that. They're seeing the highlights. They're seeing.
We saw it Sunday night when we were talking about Tyson in front of your brother. And then as soon as he saw some actual footage of Tyson, he's like, whoa, he started getting all into it. And it's like, yeah, this is what we're talking about. You know, you haven't witnessed it. You're just going off of what people talk about.
There's athletes now and there's athletes in the past. And you really can't compare them because generationally, just sports are different every generation. The athletes that are the bottom of the line athletes in every sport right now are as good as most star players were years ago. They just don't look that good because the star players now are astronomically farther ahead.
Yeah. The other thing is the game's changed.
Correct.
The NBA was a way more brutally physical sport in the 90s and the 80s and 70s than it is now. Now it's like, this guy touched my arm. It's a foul. And then there's flopping and all this other stuff. Thanks, Bloody Divac. You're the one who brought the flopping into it.
Well, let's go back just literally 5 years ago. Gronk, when he was at the peak as a tight end, the size of some smaller linemen running receiver routes, and he's almost a foot taller than the cornerback, and he can jump higher than they can.
Yep.
And he could block them because he's as big as a lineman.
So LeBron clearly is a phenomenal athlete. I'm not going to take that away from him. However, I hate that he whines. I hate that he flops. he'll get fouled by like a little tiny point guard. The dude is like a monster, 6'8", almost 300 pounds of solid muscle.
He wants to foul.
And he will literally flop when a guy that's 6'1", 180 pounds touches him. I mean, those are the things that crazy. So even better than the fact that he got knocked down the first round is that he proves my point and he walks off the court with 5 minutes left.
Did you hear why he walked off?
No.
He had to go to the bathroom.
He had to go to the bathroom.
That's why, yeah.
Pissing a freaking Gatorade cup, buddy.
It wasn't number 1. It was number 2.
Who cares? Hold it in. Pinch it. Michael played in a playoff game. Actually, I think it was the NBA championship. He played with the freaking food poisoning. Had to be carried to the bench every play. You don't think Michael had to take a number 2 at some point? He held that shit in. He won the game. Okay.
I don't care. I'm not supporting LeBron on this at all. Literally, after
is that really what he said? I had to take a number 2.
That was the report of it. Yes.
I had to do a deuce, so I walked off the court with 5 minutes left.
Yep, he was gone for 6 minutes, but nonetheless, all I know is after Anthony Davis went down with his ankle sprain or whatever, hamstring or whatever it was that he went down with, it wasn't going to play. LeBron at that point was like, shit, well, I'm going to go do my Space Jam movie over the summer. I will see you guys next year.
Another one. Just stop. You're ruining my childhood, LeBron. That's
not when you call LeBron on. That's when you call Warner Brothers for calling him and saying, hey, you want to do this with us?
I get why they do it. They're just trying to make money. But
yeah, but why wouldn't he do it? He wants to get paid money.
It's so bad. Leave Michael's legacy alone. You know what I mean? Like,
that's all. That is not a LeBron thing. That is all on Warner Brothers calling him and offering him money.
That LeBron James is not going to be filming in the morning. And
he's already done. It comes out next month, dude.
Well, whenever he filmed, I guarantee you that he did not film, followed by invite all the players in the NBA to come play with him afterwards and have them build him a bubble where he can practice and all that other stuff. He didn't have the work ethic. He's just naturally gifted. That's my rant on LeBron. Is his contract up or he's got one more year?
I have no idea. I know he always has that exit clause that if he wants to get out,
do you think he would leave if he has the opportunity?
Who knows with him? He may retire and go move. No, his son hasn't been drafted yet. He's waiting for his son.
Retire.
He's waiting for his son.
He's not going to retire. He's egotistical. He wants to win one more championship. I don't picture him retiring. He might go to the Brooklyn Nets and like be a foursome over there. I could see that happening where he's like, okay, I'll come here for a discount and we'll play with Durant. And
nah, I think he's waiting for his son. Wherever he can go, that his son will get drafted.
Oh, so you think he's going to play with his son?
I think he wants to play with his son.
Oh Lord, that would be.
What's his son, like 17 now?
That'd be pathetic. It really would be pathetic if he solely sticks around just so he can play with his son.
Hey, he's already said it in the past that he wants to play with his son. Huh?
And watch, that'll be my luck, because I'll get a washed up LeBron with his son in Chicago, and they both won't be anywhere near as good as they need to be for Chicago to win a championship. I don't even want him winning a championship in Chicago. Stay away from the Bulls.
Don't lie. Yes, you do.
I would take a championship. I don't care who gives me a championship.
I would say, don't lie.
I don't care who gives me a championship. I would take a championship.
You need a championship. You haven't seen one in...
Man. Dude, I haven't seen a championship
90s
since my childhood.
90s.
No, the Pens, if you include the Pens.
Okay, if you want to go with the Pens, then go ahead.
If I go with the Pens, I've seen championships recently, but
Thank you, Pittsburgh teams.
Yeah. The funny thing is I finally stopped being an Indians fan because I moved to Pittsburgh, and I'm like, I'm not that big into baseball, and then they start actually being a competitive team again.
Yeah, sort of, but they're not. So I need to stop rooting. They're not going to be the Indians.
I need to stop rooting for the Pirates so they can win something.
That's still not going to happen. No, probably. That's still not going to help them.
Not going to help. Moving on to Kids Corner.
Oh man,
my favorite segment every time. You want to lead off? You're kid list. So.
I'm kid list. I don't really have a story.
You could talk. You could do a Rosie story.
Oh man, a Rosie story.
Yeah.
Jeez, I could tell you all about how she is overprotective and likes to talk to everybody. Actually, no, I took her to the pet groomers a few weeks ago, And we didn't know this. You've seen her enough times. When you come in, you could talk to her. She talks back.
Oh yeah,
she definitely talks to you.
Nonstop talking for the first minute you're there.
Oh yeah, she'll talk to you, and if you talk back, she'll talk. It's almost like a conversation that you just don't know what she's saying.
Exactly.
Well, we did when Sam went to pick her up at the groomers, and she does this. She started doing that with Sam, and the groomers looked at her like, "Does she always talk to you?" She's like, "Yeah, this is what we do all the time." They looked at her like, "We've never seen that before. A dog actually not like they've barked at seeing their adult, but they've never like stopped you, say something back and forth conversation." And we told them, we're like, "No, this is all the time thing with Rosie. Anybody comes in the house, she's
normal Rosie.
That's Rosie. She has a conversation with you. She's excited to see you." But nonetheless, this lady said, "You need to put that on YouTube. That's amazing, that conversation you have with your dog."
Yeah, it might go viral. You can put it on YouTube. On Grayson's channel.
Follow for more content.
Do you have any kids' conversations you want to talk about?
Kids' conversations?
Any kids' stories you want to talk about?
No, I'll wait till next week.
Okay, you can wait till next week. I have probably too many.
Well, you just spent a whole week.
I literally, obviously most of the time I work a lot, right? Mm-hmm. I literally spent an entire 7 days with my family.
And I didn't even see many emails from you. You weren't working as much.
I mean, I caught up on my emails every day.
I'm sure you did, but there just wasn't a lot of them.
I worked for probably like an hour, half hour in the morning, half hour at night.
That's minimal for you.
I mean, it was pretty quiet. I'm blessed that we have the right people in place, and they just handle the stuff. They really did. So I'm really lucky.
The agents take care of things, the people in the business take care of things.
Yeah, everybody took care of stuff. I was not needed at all, so it was pretty nice. I had a very, very nice vacation. I will say probably the most fun thing that we had on vacation is that my son learned how to swim.
All right.
My daughter taught him how to swim, supposedly. I don't know exactly how. It happened towards the very end of the vacation. Did you
just pick him up and throw him in the deep end?
Oh, we were doing that the whole time because the kid is fearless with water. So, he would just touch the bottom and jump up and breathe really heavily. But he finally started swimming towards the end. But probably the most entertaining kid story that I have was Roman. We take him on a dolphin excursion. Okay. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, it was not what we were told it was going to be. We were told 3 hours, right? Half hour there, do your thing, half hour back, 3 hours total. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. It turned into the worst transportation I've ever had with any kind of anything, right? We sat in a parking lot of Hard Rock for 45 minutes while they found the other people that were supposed to come on the excursion with us.
All right.
We then, on the way back, we sat out in the heat waiting for all the people to get their souvenirs for an hour and a half, waiting to come back. So it was miserable. But the Dolphin Excursion was awesome. However, my son completely checked out.
Oh, man.
Completely checked out. He was cold in the water.
Okay.
And he did not. So, he's hanging on us. We're trying to get him to swim with the dolphins. It wasn't happening. So, finally, I had to ask the guy, the trainer, who barely spoke English, by the way. He can't, even with a life vest on, he's not going to be able to get far enough out to, ride the dolphin thing. Can we, do something here? And so, finally, they brought the dolphin around. And you could tell that they're telling him grab the dolphin's fins, and he's just looking at this thing you want me to do what? And he's 6 years old, and he's just so finally he grabs on the dolphin's fins, and that thing took him around, and then literally the biggest, best smile you'll ever see out of him. He just had a grin from ear to ear. He loved it. Olivia rode the dolphins a couple times. The dolphins was great. I highly recommend when your kids get older that you do that.
Okay.
The monkeys are really cool too.
Okay.
So both the excursions we did were awesome outside of the transportation issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, I could probably think of a million other stories. There was a Ninja Turtles sewer in the resort, and Roman danced on that for 45 minutes one day.
They don't let you go down in the sewer?
No, you just stand on it and it bounces, and then it makes different cowabunga, dude, and different noises and stuff. So yeah, I mean, just lots of little stories throughout the week that I could go into, but it was an awesome week. I can't wait to do it again. We're going to go June of next year to the Cancun one. So
nice.
So it should be a good time. Hopefully we can get some other people to join us because I think we need more kids. More kids would have been better.
I don't know what you mean.
You don't know what I mean? Yeah, more kids would have been better. Because my poor kids were trying to make friends, but none of them spoke English, So that was the thing. Towards the end, there some Americans finally showed up, and they were able to make a couple friends. Very end. So.
Very end.
With that being said, we have another shot with our unofficial sponsor.
Leanda.
Leanda. I think it's Leanda. Leanda. Leyenda.
Now you tell me the rest of that.
Something on una Manzilla exceptional de Barcas.
It was made in 1905.
Oh wow! Look at that.
It's old.
It's old. It tastes pretty
Cheers.
good too. All right. Ooh.
Never as good as the first time.
Not bad for our first non-whiskey, right? I'm sharing my souvenir.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. Until next time, deuces. Everybody. We're signing off. Let's get out of here.
Can you hit the button?